Welcome to Pink Radio with Prestige. This is the place for you, the diva boss entrepreneur who needs quick tips on building your crave-worthy brand. This is your host, Nicole Doss, CEO of the Prestige Society, a membership organization for women entrepreneurs who believe in building powerful networks while slanging in their industries. So I want you to go ahead and grab your favorite cup of coffee and get your favorite tips right here with Prestige. Hey, everyone. This is your girl, Nicole Doss, and I am so excited for our opportunity to talk here with at Pink Radio with Prestige. So listen, we are talking all thing #TribeGoals. Why? Well, not only because I wrote a book called Tribe, but also because this is a conversation that I've been having with girl bosses, and for some reason, girl bosses who run their small businesses really struggle with taking in the concept of creating their own tribe. They either struggle with the concept of how to start one, or they struggle with getting it up off the ground. So what we're going to do in this 3-part series is talk a little bit about why you need a tribe, 2, 5 steps of how you can start one and have one that's going to stick so you have some longevity, and 3, what you need to do to make sure that you are pouring fabulous and awesome content into your tribes. So with that being said, let's just kind of talk a little bit about the different definitions here of tribes. So in my book, I talk a lot about how, tribes can be either your internal tribes that give you your support system. That would be husband, wives, girlfriends, really close girlfriends of yours that are like your best friends, your personal best friends, the people who really keep you grounded, your parents or siblings. Those are usually your tribe, the village that's all around you. The second tribe I normally talk about are your business besties. Those are your tribe of fearless girl bosses that are the ones that really help you in venting when you have those downtimes, as well as celebrating small wins when you are able to reach those high points in your entrepreneurial journey. But that last one I talk about, that's your tribe that is really built around your tribal business economy model. And so for the next 3 series or the next 3 episodes, we are going to be talking about that particular group, that third group, your tribal business economy model, okay? So let's kind of go further in defining what a tribal business economy model is. So basically, whenever I say tribe, and when I'm talking about that third group, I do not mean just loyal customers. What I mean by that is actually your individuals who are part of a community that is connected to your brand, that contributes to monthly, sustainable, and repeatable income on a monthly or annual basis. Okay, so if you have someone who basically has a payment subscription or a payment that's an installment on an ongoing basis, whether it's monthly or whether it's yearly, those are the individuals that I am speaking to when I say the word tribe and when I think about or talk about your tribal business economy model. So with that, I don't want you to misconstrue and think that when I say tribe, and I'm talking about it from a business standpoint, that I just mean your loyal customers. Although it starts with your loyal customers, but it's not the end destination, okay? It's just the beginning to your tribe. All right. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So the next thing is assumption. So before we get into your 3 whys, we're going to assume 3 things. So the first thing I'm going to assume in this conversation is that you have a gift that is your God-given talent, and that you are in love with doing this thing, that it is your passion and it is so embedded in your purpose-driven business. So why say that? Because there's a lot of you out there who are doing businesses or creating businesses that are based off of the idea or the concept that you have the ability to make money, and you are not in love with that very thing that you are doing, okay? So for those of you who are out there doing that, you know what I mean. For those of you who are like, what are you talking about? Don't worry. That means that doesn't pertain to you. So if you are that person that's just doing something for the money and you don't necessarily love it, guess what? I can't help you. I'm so sorry. This podcast series or this particular episode is not for you, okay? Hopefully maybe you keep listening and you can get some nuggets, but for the most part, it's not really for you. Second assumption, as we talk about purpose-driven businesses and generating revenue, we are going to assume that you are going to feel a little twinge of guilt. But here's the thing. I need you to get over it. Why? Because at the end of the day, you have operating costs. And those costs are going to include things like anything that it costs for you to run the business. Website, email marketing, any software, a phone line, an office, anything you think of. If you have to pay for out of pocket, guess what? That means the business is not generating revenue to pay for those things. And included in operational costs are usually, guess what? Human capital. That's right. So if you have labor, and if the labor is you yourself, then that means that you are part of the operational costs. And so I don't want you to feel guilty about generating revenue with your purpose-driven business because it takes revenue for the business to run. So now that we have gotten that assumption out the way, let's go to the third assumption. And that is that you are listening to this particular episode because you want to create an opportunity to increase your stream of income by doing what you love. All right. So now that we got those three assumptions out of the way and I realize now who I'm talking to and you're figuring out if you are the right person to listen to this episode, let's jump into the 3 reasons why you need a tribe. Okay. Reason number 1. One-time transactions with your customers is an old, outdated, and antiquated business model. I'll say that again. One-time transactions with your customers is an old, outdated, and antiquated business model. Absolutely. What's so funny is that we are constantly in tribes and we don't even realize it. When you sign up for that card at the grocery store so that you can build points to get your free ham, you're part of the Acme tribe. When you get that Target card so that you can get 10% off every time you shop at Target, you're part of the Target tribe. Why? Because now every time you need something, you're going to go to Target to get the 10% off. When you decide to fly American Airlines because you just hit gold status and you're working your way to platinum and now you want to take advantage of your frequent flyer miles so that you can take the family to Disney World on American Airlines, you are now part of the American Airline tribe. We literally are part of tribes and we don't even realize it. When you decide whether or not the Netflix version of the Fire Festival debacle or the Hulu version was more legitimate and you only know if about the Netflix one or the Hulu one because you only subscribe to one over the other, you are part of the Hulu or Netflix tribe. This, and look, if you like both, guess what? You're part of both tribes. This is something that has become so embedded in our everyday lives, but yet, girl bosses, you struggle to figure out how you can make this work for your small business. And I'm here to tell you that you need to break out of that mold because this is what's keeping you small and this is what is not allowing you to be creative and innovative and thinking about ways to get at your clients access to your products, content, or services in a speed to market kind of way. Okay, so the first reason why you need a tribe is because when you are relying on one-time transactions with your customer, what does that mean? That means when you're relying on someone to come to your site and buy a facial scrub or to come to your website and buy a t-shirt, just alone to make up your sales, that is something that is considered absolutely antiquated and out of date as a business model, okay? I need you to start thinking about ways that's going to help you to build residual and sustainable and repeatable income. All right. Number 2, connectivity is part of human nature. So building a brand around the things that are just natural to humans is actually freaking smart, like crazy intelligent for the girl boss. So what do I mean by that? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, see, here's the thing. If I were a well-prepared podcaster, I would have the Maslow's hierarchy of needs already up. But of course, I'm typing it as we speak. So let me just run by you what these hierarchy needs are. So on the lowest, so just so you know, who is Maslow? So basically, there was this 1943 paper called Theory of Human Motivation. And so Maslow created this pyramid that basically stated what each part of, I guess, humans wanting to be able to belong, what it really means. And so what's really cool about this is that this is something that I actually used to teach leaders about when it came to how do you motivate your teams and how are they doing things that are allowing their teams to meet these areas on the pyramid. So here are some of the things that's on there: psychological, safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization, which sometimes is also paired with self-development. So what you see dead smack in the middle of the pyramid is love and belonging. So here's what I want you to understand. To belong to something, to be connected to a community or a brand or a certain way of living is part of human nature. You see this with those who are connected to a particular brand to define their socioeconomic status. It happens all the time. And when you choose, like honestly, if you choose to wear just a regular bag, right? I mean, because I have plenty of regular bags I think are super duper cute. And then also I have name brand bags. When you make the decision to spend the amount of money on a name brand bag, you are saying to the world, I can afford this item, right? And there's tons of research on why people feel the need to do that. But that is someone being connected to a lifestyle. When people join certain networking groups, it's because you are connecting yourself to a group of people who have like-minded goals, aspirations, or viewpoints on life. But there's this need to connect with those individuals. And what happens is that brands understand that and they capitalize off of it. But your average girl boss does not see the opportunity as the brand. They jump right into it as the consumer, but they do not see the opportunity as the brand. And that's what we want to change. So connectivity is absolutely important. It is part of our human nature to want to belong and connect. So the second reason why you need a tribe is because now it is your responsibility as the chief steward of your brand to be able to create a connection, a community where the brand is connecting with its audience. How do you do that? How do you build that feeling of belonging and connectivity with your brand? Okay, so think about how you can do that, but understanding that's the second reason why you need to do it, because it's part of human nature. And if it's part of human nature, it means it's inevitable. And if you can tug at the right heartstrings, and if you can speak the right messaging that speaks to the core of that core audience that you have, then you have the ability to build a connectivity to your audience. And why is connectivity important? Because when you're able to speak to your audience in a way that connects your brand to your audience, you then begin to build a relationship where now the audience trusts that brand. And then once that brand is a trusted resource, you now have what we call customer loyalty. And that's to the point where even if someone tried to use a different brand, what happens? Boom. They feel like they're cheating on their brand. It doesn't even feel right. They feel conflicted. So this is what you want. Remember, it's all about the game of repeat business. Number 3, why in the world should you have a tribe? The third reason is because you want to build monthly sustainable income with your brand. Point blank. Point blank. I mean, it is nerve-wracking to kind of forecast and try to say like, oh my gosh, what am I going to bring in? And for me, I'll use myself as an example. I know what the month is going to bring for sure. And that's usually what happens with my monthly memberships for those who are members of Prestige. So I know every month, okay, this is what I'm going to expect to see based off of memberships. And for those months where we close memberships and there's no new members, like I know that number is that number. What is the variable for me is usually the sale of anything else extra. So it's what I call my ad hocs or my a la carte. So it's anything that's an add-on. So my one-on-one coaching services, guess what? That's something that's an add-on. My apparel, my books, those are all add-ons. And I'm not quite sure what those sales are going to be. So I'll build sales goals and then I'll work towards those sale goals. But what's holding me and floating me from month to month is the membership. So these are the things that I want you to think about, because right now you guys are in a space where you don't really know what your next month is going to be like. And you are very frustrated with your business because you don't know what that next month holds. So being able to create that membership and creating that monthly income for your business is absolutely important. So I'm only going to give you guys the keys to the castle for this particular, for just this particular talk. We're not going to go deep into anything that has to deal with anything such as, how to build your memberships. What does this look like? Because those are coming in the next episodes, and that's going to be in our Beyond the Box, and then the 5 different ways to start your tribe. So I got you guys. I'm going to give you the keys to the castle, but we have to take baby steps, and this baby step is just giving you your WIFM. What is that? That what's in it for me, and letting you understand exactly why you need to really focus on getting your tribe started today. So with that, I'm going to let you boss ladies just go ahead and live your best lives and really start the wheels to turn about what you can do for your tribe. But like I said, don't worry, I got an episode for you next. All right, guys, have a wonderful, awesome, and most of all, blessed day. Bye.